In this tutorial, you'll learn how to easily make property and field boundary maps like this one using Google My Maps. To use this free mapping tool, you'll need a Google account. If you don't have one already, it's quick and easy to sign up. Once you get to the My Maps homepage, this is where you can see all the maps you've already made using this program, but I want to start with a fresh map. So I'm going to click Create a New Map at the top left. And this will take you to a map of North America. Here at the search bar at the top, you can enter the address, a local street name, or a town that's close to the property that you'd like to map. And the default base map that Google uses can be helpful if you want to map out property boundaries. If you zoom in far enough, you can see these property tax boundary lines in the area. But I want to map at the field level, so I will go over here to base map, click the drop down option, and select satellite so we can get a bird's eye view of the property. First, I want to title my map, so just click on Untitled Map. You can call it whatever you'd like. You can also add a description if that would be helpful. And then any element you add to this map is going to be saved under this layer. So I also want to title this layer. Click on Untitled Layer, and I'll call it Field Boundaries. You want to zoom in on the first field you'll outline, and then select Draw a Line, which is just under the search bar. Then select the first option, Add Line or Shape. And then start at any corner and start to outline that field. I'm doing this pretty hastily just for time, but you can take your time and get the field boundaries as precise as you'd like. Once you connect the line with that first dot, it'll ask you to name your shape. I'm going to call this Westfield. It also estimates the acreage and the square miles of your shape, which could be helpful. And then you can also change the style of that shape. So I'm going to make it yellow to make it a little bit brighter. I'm also going to change the fill to transparent, and I'm going to make the border width a little bit wider. If you need to go back and edit any of these dots that you made, you can easily grab onto one and move it around to have it fit the field better. So there's your first field boundary. You can start a new one by doing the same. Select Draw a Line, Add Line or Shape. You can also zoom in pretty close if you want to get precise. I'm going to start in this corner. And then if you need to move around the screen, you can use the arrows on your keyboard to move up and down and left and right. You can also use the wheel on your mouse to zoom out if that's helpful, or zoom in. There you go. We'll close that line. I'll name this one Front Field. And I'll change the style so that it matches the other field boundary that we made. Here we go. We have two field boundaries. You can add as many as you'd like. You can also add pins to the map by using this button right under the search bar, Add Marker. Just select that here. This can be helpful if you want to mark any landmarks on the property, like buildings, maybe gates for the fields, irrigation infrastructure, ditches, things like that. So I'm going to mark a few of the buildings. It's also helpful, it shows the GPS coordinate of the pin that you created. And then you can change the style of that pin if that's helpful. I'll mark one more building on the property. You'll go to Add Marker again. And I'll change the style. Google has a lot of different icons you can use, which could be helpful. So now that we have these four elements, you might want to make different layers to kind of classify these different elements. So I'm going to go ahead and add a layer for the buildings that we marked by clicking Add Layer below the title. And then title this layer by clicking on Untitled Layer. I'll call it Buildings. And then you can just drag the elements that you want to add to this layer, just like that. This is helpful if you want to make a simpler version of this document. If you add a lot of different elements, you can just simply deselect the buildings if you just want your field boundaries in there, or vice versa. Now, to preview the map so you can see how others might receive it, if you send it to them online, you can click on preview right here. And this will take you to a view-only version of the map. They can zoom in and zoom out. They can also click on elements and get more information about it on the left. Or they can use the legend and click on different options, and then it'll center that element on the map. So to share this version of the map, you can go ahead and click share underneath the title. Toggle on anyone with this link can view. And the link is right here for you to copy if you'd like and paste into any email or message. Another way to save this map is by going to the three dots to the right of the title and selecting print map. Now this will give you a few different paper sizes depending on how you want to print. I'm going to keep it on standard lettered. And then it also helps you change the orientation. I'm going to change it to landscape and keep it as a PDF file. So once you click print, it'll take you to a tab that can be printable with your new PDF. So this looks all right, but I would like it to be a little bit more zoomed in. So that's an easy fix. You can just go back to your map, zoom in a little bit on that map. It may seem like here these elements would be cut off a little bit, but the PDF version is going to zoom out. So let's try the same thing again. Go down to print map, landscape, print, and there we have it. That looks pretty good. So hopefully this was helpful. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you now feel ready to map your own property and field boundaries.